First Watch with Sheriff Mark Daniels on KWCD Bisbee Sierra Vista. Hosted by Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler. First Watch is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
And welcome to your Friday. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Good morning, Cochise County.
Hello, everyone.
So tomorrow is the winter solstice. That's going to be fun.
What is it tomorrow?
The winter solstice. So this is when the days start to get longer again.
I was going to say I had to have you explain that because it was like you're speaking big old terminology for us here this morning. Yeah, winter starts tomorrow. You never know what to look at. I mean, was it 80 degrees in Tucson yesterday? I mean, 81. I think it set a record yesterday.
Yeah, that's gross. Yeah, that's too warm.
I don't know if I agree with that. I love warm weather. It's that reptile in me, I guess, you know.
Well, the days are going to be much longer, so just make sure you're putting your headlights on.
Actually, they become shorter, don't they? Didn't you say
no, they start to get longer. The light starts to, because right now it's more dark than light. So we start to get a little less darkness, a little more light starting here.
See, that's so great. That's the hardest part of this time of year. Besides, it's a little chilly in the morning.
Yep.
But you wake up and it's 6 and it's still dark. You're like, no, I can't get up yet.
You're not going to notice it all of a sudden tomorrow. It's just that it starts the process.
Trying to get some hope here for this winter starting tomorrow. You know, it's such a thing as a winter in Arizona, but that's cool.
Well, we want to remind everybody we're not going to be here next week, so this is the last show of the year. But we really want to thank Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative for sponsoring this all year long and every year.
And we wouldn't be able to do it without them. So they do so many great things in the community. And, you know, this brainchild, they were willing to jump on board and take lead on it and let it happen. And I think it's been successful.
It really has. And this is a community show for the community. It truly is. To get to know your sheriff's office, your community leaders, you know, Mayor McCall, Chief Heiser, you know, Chief Cox, all the different people that have come on the show, Salvation Army, Sierra Vista Chamber, what is it, Regional Islands?
Sky Islands, Regional
Partnership, yes. That I told Melanie over there, I said, no, I haven't got that dialed in yet. But so many people, J.D. Rottweiler from the college, and all the different people that have been on this show, sharing their stories, sharing what's going on at their organizations, and I think it's great. And thank you to Jason and his team over at SSVC for all the things they do. They do so much.
And speaking of JD, there is a new Cochise College president that was just voted in, Dr. Perry. Congratulations.
James Perry. Yeah, he's the executive vice president now, and came out of the Prescott Yavapai area, and he's worked collegiate a long time. And he was selected out of many, many people. They had a ton of applications, but it got nailed down all the way to James. And but again, we're looking forward to him. We've worked with him for the last 2 years, I believe. He's been at the college when he transferred from Yavapai area and moved down here, and him and his wife Jessica and their kids, and it's a great addition to our community here in Cochise County, but also we look forward to partnering with him, continue to do what we do, the great things at Cochise College.
And Sheriff Mark Daniels, how long have you been married?
38 years today. So I want to give a big shout out to my wife, Nikki, for just putting up with me, and I mean that, literally putting up with me. I mean, she's been awesome. She truly, but 38 years today, we were married. It's amazing where time goes. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel I've been married that long, number one, but number two, I don't feel that old. And not that I have to remind myself I'm getting up there. But again, thank you, Nikki. I love you. She's been great.
And another shout out we're going to give to Stacy Echternaw. She's been with our department for our IT for many, many, many years. And even though today's her last official day, she's agreed to contract back for a couple hours a week. If we can hold on to that, we'll be good.
You know, Stacy, she was in the evolution of our CAD system, which is computerized aided dispatch, our Spillman system. I mean, she helped implement that, and she is just kind of the person behind the curtain, and she's done amazing for us. She's always helpful, always has a smile on her face. We're going to miss her. People don't realize until people like Stacy leave how important, how vital she was to our organization. But Stacy, I've known you a long time. I've known your family a long time. Thank you so much, and we wish you well in your new chapter.
She's amazing, I tell you.
She is.
Well, as we sit at the end of the year, kind of give us a quick wrap-up of what 2024 was for the Sheriff's Office.
Well, 2024 was a political year. Let's just be real. The election, you had the presidential elections, and some people are happy, some people are not. The border was huge. It's been huge for the last 3.5, 4 years. We've dealt with border issues, border challenges, community outcries with the pursuits we've seen. That's really been the highlight of 4 years, but especially over the last, I say 2.5, 3 years on the pursuits, and just trying to find the best practice, changing who we are as an organization when it comes to interdiction. I mean, we've had so many conversations. I know, Carol, you've been involved in some of those. Grady, you too, and trying to figure out what's best for the community. And this community, I truly enjoy. They really feel the balance with us. They understand our frustrations, but they also been there for support. We couldn't do it without this community. And 2024 was a year that we still kept our focus. We still kept our balance. We didn't tilt. We didn't fall over. And the fact that we just kept doing what we had to do with the limited resources we have, with the partnerships at the state level and community level and beyond, and our Border Patrol agents, federal agents that worked alongside us, that continue to work alongside us, we found ways to navigate the federal challenges, but also to get it done. So I want to say thanks to everybody. And really 2024, I'd be remiss if I didn't say it. The men and women at the Sheriff's Office that go out every day. We did lieutenant testing this week, and all 8 people that were testing for lieutenant in their interview process actually talked about how much they appreciate the culture here, how much they appreciate the leadership and the vision and the mission as we go forward. That was refreshing to hear. That was so refreshing that people they believe in what we're doing. Because if you don't believe in something, where you at in the process? And usually you're faking it. I hate to say it like that, or you just whatever. That's not, we don't have the whatevers. I'm not saying we don't have one or two that just don't buy in, but overall, the men and women make this happen every day. Our successes, when you see a success story out there, thank a deputy, thank a support staff, thank a detention officer, or even a volunteer. They're making it happen every day. 2024 has actually been a very, very good year for us. And were there some restless nights and some headaches? Of course there was, but any job has that.
And so working collectively with our community, you're also working closely with other agencies in Fort Huachuca. So today you have a ride-along, and then Saturday you have an event that you're going to attend.
Yeah, I got Colonel Childs, the garrison commander from Fort Huachuca, and his team will be spending the day with me today. And let me just say, our relationship, if you take Fort Huachuca, which is just the economic driver for Cochise County, but then you look at what an asset and resource they are to have here when it comes to keeping this county afloat in so many ways. But second of all, that's a city in itself. It truly is. The garrison commander is really the city manager, if you put it in perspective. And then you got the generals up there. I went to their holiday party a couple weeks ago. They have their New Year's coming up here. I'm going to be doing that here real soon. But bottom line is, we have so many interactive operations with them, whether it's a search and rescue issue, whether it's they need help downtown, we need help on post with a soldier or even a civilian. It's just a great relationship. And Colonel Childs, who's been here about 8 months now, I believe, but we missed our first meeting to get together. He had to cancel out, so today we're going to spend some time together, show him our resources, but just really have a soda and talk about what do they show them the jail. A lot of people don't understand. We are the jail facility for the military. People don't understand. So if a soldier gets in trouble or has to be confined, we have an agreement with the military to do that. And that's always rough. And people say, you house military? We do. The closest military confinement is Yuma, Arizona. So, yeah, they put them here. And for those thinking, well, how's that work? We have to put protective caution and barriers to our soldiers. They got to be sight and sound away from any foreign inmates. So if you're illegally in the country and charged for a state crime and you're in my jail, they can't come in contact, for example. That's just one of many. But and I remember several years ago back to Fort Leavenworth, their penitentiary back there. And I was very impressed the way they do things versus how we're doing it. And what I mean by versus is the fact that we're very equal. We do a lot of things the same way. And that tells me that we're on track. And that's why I wanted to go tour and see, are we missing something here with ours? But we're not. The operations are similar. But again, we're going to spend some time with Colonel Childs today. And his team, and very excited. The provost will be there too, Darren Crosley. So again, it's going to be an exciting day.
And Saturday you're going to go up there.
Saturday, and I remember this when I was in the military. So they get to leave for Christmas break, all the soldiers, all the training soldiers from the military intelligence and beyond. Now, so tomorrow between 6:30 and 7:30, they'll be loading buses and however they do it nowadays. And my luck, they have helicopters dropping them in, grabbing the kids. I don't know, soldiers. But we're going to be there, the Mayor McCall, myself, and some others to send off the soldiers for Christmas. And the biggest thing they worry about, I know, talking to the garrison commander and others, is safely going home and safely coming back. So I don't know if my visits there tomorrow is a presence visit, of being law enforcement, but either way, it's exciting because they're here, they're away from their homes, they're young, and they get to go home. So there'll be a lot of energy tomorrow, a lot of excitement, because I remember what I felt that when I was heading home for the holidays when I was in basic training. So again, I'm looking forward to that tomorrow, 6:30 up on Fort Huachuca.
And also, the SWAT team has been busy, and let's talk about how they're regional at this point.
So we're pushing regionalization, and that's a big thing. And when you can regionalize government, it's efficient and it's more than likely more effective. And so we've regionalized our border team. We've talked about that. We've regionalized our communication center, CCOM. We in the process of regionalizing narcotics in the county. So we have one narcotics regional team. And that, last but not least, is the regional SWAT team. And that's bringing law enforcement together to have one regionalized multi-agency SWAT team. And let me tell you, it's working out very well. And we're in the infancy part of that. But I tell you, as you go into 2025, you're going to see a big change with that. So when you see these missions, whether in the city, whether in the county, it's irrelevant. I mean, that team is a highly trained tactical team to address the worst situations. The other night, they had a situation where a guy ran from them, barricaded in the house. There were 2 other people in the house. They wouldn't come out. I was listening to it on the radio. Service to PD, or the regional SWAT team now, Service to PD, Sheriff's Office, Benson PD has somebody on that team. I'm not sure who else, but they responded, and once again, they're just getting better and better at what they do, learning from each other, different tactics, but find that middle ground, and they end up gassing the house, bringing the guy out, and that's what you want. But our SWAT team is very, very active last few months, very active when it comes to addressing the worst of the worst situations and bringing them to a peaceful resolution. So kudos to all our SWAT members in Cochise County. And I say that, I'm talking about the regional team, Service to PD. And I want to give a big shout out to Chief Heiser. Chris Heiser is the new police chief at Service to PD. If you have not spent time with him, you've not met him, give him a call. He's really, him and Mayor McCall. You'll see him walking on Wednesdays now. Chris, the chief, jumped into that. So he's very welcoming into the community and bringing people in. And so, again, it's exciting to have a chief like that. And that's one of the reasons when we have police chiefs around the county that believe in that regionalization, we can get things done. And right now we're doing that with all the chiefs.
And there was even a search warrant in Douglas.
There was, where it was a smuggling search warrant with drugs. Our guys were watching that, and that broke out into a search warrant. I believe it was cocaine is what they were looking for on this one, and what they got on this one. And again, it just goes back to how proactive our special operations unit is. I mean, they're doing really, really good work. I'm so impressed. I'll get a text, hey, we're doing a search warrant. Hey, we're doing this. Because they're going after the bad guys. And I look at it this way. If you're swinging dope in the community, that's touching our kids. Adults have decisions they have to make. I mean, we'll hold you accountable if we catch you. But when it comes to kids that are innocent, that see this bad behavior by parents or adults, an uncle, whatever, that's getting infected to our children, our young people in these communities, our high schools and our junior highs. We want to get involved in that, and we want to go after that. So, again, kudos to our special ops team and all they're doing.
And Hawkeye now has night capabilities.
They do. They got certified about a month ago. Hawkeye is our helicopter, our enforcement helicopter. You fly up there, it's white with some markings on it. It does not have markings of sheriff. We did that on purpose. But you'll know it's our helicopter. And let me just tell you, they got certified. We had a pursuit the other night. They took off from us. The illegals ran from the car. The car driver took off, ended up being chased by the helicopter, which is the best way to chase them because we're up in the air. You can't get away. Went through a fence, crashed. The suspects took off running. There was a driver and a passenger. And out in the desert, they're hiding under a tree. Unfortunately, our technology on that helicopter spotted them. So the helicopter actually just helped guide the enforcement team, our interdiction team, into the desert, and guess what? They're both in custody sitting in my jail. So kudos to Hawkeye, our pilots, our TFOs, which is technical flight officers, for making that a success story. We're doing everything we can in Cochise County to ensure if you're going to commit crimes here, you're going to smuggle here, we're going to give you our best shot to catch you, and we're doing it right now.
And tell us how your meeting went yesterday with the Mexican consulate.
Yeah, I got the opportunity to meet meet the consulate, the Mexican consulate. We sat down in the morning yesterday in my office in Bisbee, and very, very nice lady. I call Madam Consulate. And we've always had a very good relationship. And then people say, well, what's that mean to our office? So if we have a migrant comes across the border illegally and then it is left behind because they couldn't keep up with the group, or something happens, we had 5 last year, or this year, where they left them behind. and they were suspected to be dead. We found, I think, 3 out of 5, Carol, you might remember this, and there are still a couple we never did find, which is sad. These are human beings. And so the consulate is a big, big component of, if we have a situation that we need to connect back into Mexico, that is our liaison, that is our conduit to do that. And again, we've had really good relationships over the years, and this will continue with the new consulate down there. And we had a good conversation. I gave her a copper sheriff plate to hang on our wall. So you got to hang this. That's for every law enforcement comes in and realizes the sheriff. But so I see good things going ahead with the new consulate down there in Mexico. But yeah, they need us, we need them. But it's always been a very professional, but also a very personal relationship with them.
You also had a ride-along with Kathleen Gomez.
Kathleen Gomez, yes. I didn't know Kathleen very well, but I've extended an invite to her and Frank Antonori, the new board member. I don't know either of them hardly at all. And Kathleen spent the day with my team, my deputy association, my executive team, and went very, very well. I mean, she extended on the way. I was taking her back to her Bisbee. She extended how exciting she saw our office and all the things, innovative things that we were doing. She was very, very pleased with what we were doing. And that's what we always tell people. Come see the things we're doing. If you hear a rumor, the sheriff's spending money. Are you kidding? I mean, we do so many cool things to offset cost here. And when you can bring over $100 million, I mean, you're doing something pretty cool. And offset cost. And she saw that. She saw it in action, too. Not just, hey, here's a piece of paper. Look what we did. No, come see it. And so, again, I felt really good. I think she's going to serve her district really well. I mean, I like her attitude. I like her focus. And she ain't new to politics. She ain't new to government. So I see good things. And he comes from the Gomez family down there, where both her dad and uncle were dentists in the Douglas area. She was going through a lot of her legacy down there. So it's a very legacy family in the Douglas area. So again, I'm looking for that new partnership in that district. I have not heard back from Frank Antonori. He has not reached back out to the sheriff's office. So we'll see where that goes. But again, we want partnerships. We want to work together, because when government, especially at the local level, is not working together, we got problems. So I'll keep you all posted if I hear back from him.
And you're also at an exciting new event with the grand opening of the Cochise College Range.
We did that first shot. So this range is a new indoor range for the police academy. And I'm just going to give a shout out to President Rottweiler. When him and I talk, he's a guy that you plant a seed and he just runs with it. He's like me that way. So we always ran these races when it comes to all the cool things. But this indoor range it's a 20-lane range indoor, state-of-the-art. And he did something. That's like, him and his team are so innovative over there. They said, we're going to do a first shot. And I go, what's a first shot? So I think there's 8 of us got selected. There was 8. The Mayor McCall. And if you saw his shooting, you want to know why he needs to stay as a mayor. And Senator Gowan, I'll keep the same comment for him too. And then Police Chief Heiser, Police Chief Fullen, and which I was really impressed with Chief Fullen from Douglas. He actually carries a gun. That was cool. And I got to give a little heck there. But and then Guy Hudson, who's our sergeant that runs our academy. And I'm thinking, who else shot?
Wichita City Chief?
No, they were the only law enforcement. There was somebody else. Oh, 2 of the board members from the college.
Oh,
2 of the board members. Yeah, and if you saw their shooting too, it'd be the same thought. But so I was poking really hard. This is going to be easy. This is going to be easy. So we got the first shot. And then what they did, they had the ribbons tied to a clay pigeon, and you had to shoot the clay pigeon, and then you had 5 more shots. So you got 6 shots total. So it took all 6 to shoot the clay pigeon. Well, it doesn't look good then. But whoever had the tightest group and the most in the center. So I'm like, I was poking all the guys, good luck, guys. And I was giving the mayor so much heck. Long story short is, my first shot, I hit the clay pigeon and dropped the ribbon. And then my other 5 shots, they were close, but they weren't tight, if that makes any sense. And then I had Guy Hudson, my he's a fire instructor too, sitting next to me, and just ding, 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 right in the middle. He won it. He did. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. I even tried to get him to shoot my target to hell, but he wouldn't. And But Chief Heiser, Chief Fulton both did a really good job in shooting too. They were right behind Guy Hudson, and it was kind of funny. The media guy was doing a story with this, and who won, you guys? Who won? He was, I don't remember who's. And I was standing behind. I yelled, it had to be the sheriff. It was not the sheriff, but the guy turned around, looked at me. I go, just kidding, don't look at me. And but it was a lot of fun, cool event. I actually had the shovel when they turned the ground to build that facility, and I had all the board members sign it from the college. And now having the target, the clay, I got half my clay pigeon because the other was half a shot, and then the ribbon and stuff. And so 50 years from now, 100 years from now, we'll put that in our little museum. Somebody's going to say, hey, what is this? So it's pretty cool. But it's just nice to have that innovation here at Cochise College and for our communities, for our homegrown academy or applicants.
And we're about to talk about some Christmas events that have already happened and are coming up. But before we get to those, let's take a look back at the radio station, because we've been on the air with SSVEC, but you've done other stuff with the radio station as well.
Let me say, and let me just go back in time before I was even affiliated with KWCD 19.3 or and all the affiliate stations you have here with it. And so I used to listen to it on the radio in the morning and stuff, and then I've had the privilege to come on and start calling football games for this radio station, Cherry Creek, then now Town Square, and grow as not just somebody comes in and does a show here or there or somebody on the outside, but actually now part of this team here. And you guys do so much cool community stuff, and we forget these resources, and Mike, your manager here, that is seeing the vision with the community and sharing it. You, Grady, I'd be remiss if I didn't say it. I mean, your voice is a legacy voice. If you left Sierra Vista, your voice will carry on for how long? I mean, think about that. I mean, you just got that voice for radio. Some I don't, but either way. And now to come work with us and still have a foot in the door over here. I mean, look at the show this morning. We couldn't do this without you. So, but it takes the leadership here at the Town Square and your corporate to believe in what we're doing, and they're believing in that. And that's why we sit in this studio every Friday and do this, thanks to SSVC, but also being supported by this. If the community didn't like it, we wouldn't be on the show. I mean, we wouldn't have a show. So thank you to the community, and everybody listens to it and says, I have people tell me, I listen to your show every Friday. Then I have people say, I don't listen to your show. I get that too. So that happens.
And one of the things that we try to promote here too are events that are going on. And the Glow Ride, this is going to be such a fun event tomorrow night. And everybody needs to just take a beat and see if you can go see the sheriff of Cochise County on a tricycle with a siren. You just can't make that up.
So last year I got roped into this. I say rope because we're in the West, but roped into this. I didn't know what I was doing. Got there and they said, Sheriff, will you take and escort the kids with their lighted tricycles and escort them around the park? I said, what's that mean? What's that mean? So they have a man-sized tricycle. And that's how, there's no way to put that. So it's a man-sized tricycle with a siren. And so I actually escort the kids around the park. Now, we have a lot of fun with it. The parents love it. I do it for the kids. Yeah, and find a sheriff that does that one. And so they asked me, Sheriff, we got you all set up. We've started this tradition last year. I said, you all started that tradition, but I will be there tomorrow at 4 o'clock. I think around 4:30 we're kicking off. But the kids love it. And then I bring something for the kids. In fact, I got to get that today. That I give to each kid. And I give them each a star, because if we're going to be doing that, that's my.
You have to have your posse.
You got to have your posse, yeah, and they got to have their star. So we're going to do that again tomorrow, and then after that, they have the Glow Ride through Sierra Vista, and this is a non-sanctioned event. They've fought and fought to get this to become a sanctioned event through the city, and my sheriff's assist team have always helped them to keep it safe. But this year, the city, I was talking to Chief Heiser, this year the city actually permitted them. So they have a permit. This is an official event now, which I appreciate the city doing that, because when you have that much interest, I don't know if you've all seen it, but the park is full. I mean, literally full of UTVs, and side-by-sides, and anything that looks like a side-by-side. Literally, that's true, too. All lined up, ready to go. So it's a really neat event. And right before Christmas, you can imagine the excitement and stuff. And then the money raised, they give to some charity organizations. So it's all good. And so I'll be out there supporting that great cause.
And Stocking Stuffers program.
We did that last week, and let me just tell you, Jody Klein, San Pedro Kiwanis, and Just Kids Inc. put that together every year. Over 600 kids were serviced this year, thanks to the great effort. VFW, we wrap over there. We did that a few weeks ago. All I can say is thank you to these organizations for putting this together, and Jody Klein especially. I mean, he goes, and Jody's our former county administrator back in the days, and he puts so much time in this. And so thank you, Jody, for listening, all the Kiwanians out there putting this together, and Just Kids Inc. folks. But Mayor McCall and I went out. We did parts of Sierra Vista, came back, got more. Our Sheriff's Assist team and many other organizations were out there coming back, getting more gifts, taking them out to the kids. These are kids in need. And then we went to Huachuca City and did parts of Huachuca City. So we fell right into the Christmas parade for Huachuca City. In fact, we were the last one because we were trying to get to the addresses. So I'm following, and the mayor was behind me, and people thought we were part of the parade, which is all right. We're waving. I said, Mayor, just wave. Let's just wave. So we're waving to people. Hi, Sheriff. But really we're there delivering stocking stuffers. But there's something special when you come up to a house and you got kids coming out. Who is it? And we say, we're the sheriff. I'm the sheriff. And there's Mayor McCall from the Sierra Vista. We're here to give out some gifts. And the kids get this big old smile. So, again, thank you. And so many community members. If you want to be involved in this next year, get a hold of the sheriff's office, and we can hook you up. But you can actually go shopping for the kids. They'll give you a list, and then you go shop and you turn that in. And that's become so prominent. Before it was all fundraising money. The members in the club would go do it. Now most people, Nikki and I do that. Let me rephrase that. Nikki does that. And she goes shopping for 2 kids, and we do that. And it's a good way to give back. So thank you for that. Stocking Stuffer, another successful year.
And it's a sad way to end the year, but our hearts go out to Ann English and the English family.
It is. Ann English, our board member, she started in the 80s. It's incredible. I mean, she has so much public service time. And her and I just spoke last week. Her husband passed away, Pat. Pat was long-serving SSVC member, Pat was one of the nicest guys. I don't think he ever met an enemy. You know what I'm saying? Always been a friend. And every time if I went to an SSVC luncheon or some kind of community event, I always sat next to Pat because you know you're going to have a positive conversation. And but he fought some health issues last year, 2 years, and both Pat and Ann are, they're that tough ranching style. And so I called Ann the other day when I found out about this, and she's just such a tough lady. She's so tough. But I told her I'm really out to share what I share with her. I'm just worried about her because she spent her whole life in public service. I mean, here's somebody that was a teacher, an educator, a superintendent, a principal, a board member for many, many years, and she chose to step down and spend time with her husband, and then he passes, right before she steps down here in about a week. And so I told her, I said, Ann, we'll make you a volunteer at the sheriff's office. Come be part of our team. But Ann, thank you for all you've done. But really, thank you, Pat, for your service to this community, this country. And again, they're going to have a memorial for Pat on January 4th at the Elfrida High School. That's a clue when you use a high school gym for a memorial. So, and Nikki and I definitely will be at that event.
Well, Sheriff Mark Daniels, what is your stop of the week?
Let me just say, I mean, the stops I've been making over the week, I'm not going to hit on one specific, is just trying to curtail driving. From cutting people off to following too close. I mean, we're all seeing it right now. It seems like the roads have, magnified. Have you noticed that? You come into town. The other day it took me 25 minutes from Ramsey Canyon area where I live into town. It was like 6:30 in the morning. I'm like, where did all these cars come from? But people just ride you close. They cut you off. I mean, there's speeding going on. So I've been in between meetings and running around. It's been a long week. Stopping a lot of cars and just walking up and saying, hey, what's the rush? I know. I need to slow down. Yeah, I think. So just slow down, everybody. I mean, this is the Christmas holiday. This is a time of joy, reflection, and family and friends and all the stuff that comes with that. And just slow down and enjoy it because it's going to be over whether we like it or not. Time doesn't stop. It's a conveyor belt that we're all on. But let's just take a time to breathe, and especially this weekend. This is guy weekend. I call it man weekend. You're talking about the man tricycle, but this is man weekend where every guy will be shopping because guys don't shop. That's why we have Christmas Eve day. That's why stores stay open. It's not for the ladies. It's for the guys to get out there and hire. Because we don't. That's when you'll see me at the store. You want to see me? Look, that's the only day I have left because I work all the way up. But it's Christmas Eve day. But let's all just take a breath and kind of enjoy what we have and the blessings that we have. And last thing I want to say when it comes to the safety message too is New Year's Eve. Let's bring in the New Year's Day with a new outlook. We've been through a lot, this country and this community, and it's time to reset that. reset it, balance it back out, and let's start fresh on January 1 and keep doing the great things we're doing. It's a very special community.
All right, before we go, wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I wish everybody a happy holidays, Merry Christmas to you and your families on behalf of the men and women of the Cochise County Sheriff's Department and all law enforcement, and a Happy New Year and prosperous one too. Thank you, everybody, for allowing us to be here.
And remember, there's no show next week, but we will be back in January. And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have Don Foster, Sierra Vista Fire and Medical.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Giving you an inside look to your sheriff's office. Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and thank you so much, Don Foster, Sierra Vista Fire Marshal, for being here. We appreciate having you and all the things you're going to talk to us about.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, just talking about a long week, right?
It has been a long week. We've
So,
been busy.
tell us about the toy drive. What have you guys been doing?
Yeah, so, this is our 53rd year doing this, which is, I haven't been doing for 53 years, but it's been going on generation to generation at the firehouse. And this week we did our last remote. Grady was down there with Rebecca.
It was
you guys,
fun, yeah.
You guys showed up and did a special guest appearance down there, and we had a lot of people down there donating. We had Stan Greer showed up with a big truck and donated just like a humongous amount of toys down there, and local businesses and just people from the community dropping by and giving cash and toys, and it was just a great time. We had a lot of people. Mama Shava's out there with her salsa and hot dogs, and it was fun. We really appreciate the people stopping by and helping us out, because this year's we were kind of talking about it earlier, is we've seen a lot of people that we've never seen before, new people that really needed the extra help this year, and I think that's kind of just the sign of the times right now. But we're glad to be able to step up and help them out, and we just appreciate the help from the community.
And that's one of the things. About how many families do you think that you're impacting?
So we see, about 300 families and 750 kids, and that's just, sometimes we'll do like, that's not the official count yet. I mean, we're still kind of putting stuff, here and there for families that show up, but that's a lot, 750 kids. So.
That is a lot. And so tomorrow you have the whole crew come together to bag and tag?
Yeah, so yes. So the kind of one of the unique things about what we do is we have the community come in. So starting tomorrow at 1 o'clock at our Station 1, Sierra Vista Fire Station 1, is at 1295 East Fry. If you want to come help out and do something, this is probably my favorite event, is the bag and tag. So what will happen is you come to the station. You don't have to call ahead or anything or make an appointment. You just come down. We're going to give you a bag and a piece of paper with the family with the kids on there. And we have bins set up with toys in them that are just, age appropriate for whatever ages the kids are, and whether they're a boy and a girl. And then you'll just go through and shop for them out of the bins and fill the bag up. And you just keep doing it until we fill everybody's, wish list pretty much. But that's probably my favorite, just because, you just kind of like shopping, and you don't have to go to a cash register and check out. You're just kind of, thinking about what you would want as a kid, and it's just pretty cool. It's a good time. So, and that takes a couple hours. We usually knock it out pretty fast. So usually
I started to say, if you have 700 kids, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of volunteers, and we could definitely use the help. So if you want to come out and have a really good time and just kind of give back to the community, that's a perfect way to do it.
So after you do all of that tomorrow, it's not over.
No, it has just begun, right? So the Sunday is the delivery. And again, another unique thing about what we do is we deliver the toys, right? Well, we don't deliver it. The community delivers it, right? So at the same place, it's at 1295 East Fry, Station 1, at 8 o'clock on Sunday morning. If you come down there in your car, there'll be a line, and we'll wrap people through our bay, and we have all those bags that are just sitting there, and you'll drive your car through the bay. Our volunteers will pack your vehicle with the toys and give you your mission, for the day with like the address. And we used to give out maps, but anymore people have, their phones and stuff. So we just give them the address and, the bag, and they go out and deliver the toys, and you kind of get to be Santa for the day. It's pretty fun.
Well, yeah, so that would be something exciting to do for your Sunday. You get to be Santa before the real Santa.
Yeah, and we see a lot of people, from the same kind of groups will come, and typically we have like a motorcycle group that comes in, and we have, people from, throughout the community, that just love to deliver the toys, and it's a good time. We'll have some hot chocolate and some cookies, and get your blood sugar up to 400 or 500.
Right, so you can do that when they're done.
Get you all amped up. And we won't have any energy drinks or anything, but maybe some coffee too if you want to really get jittery before you go out and deliver toys.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right. Well, while we've got you here, let's go ahead and talk about some safety issues that happen around Christmas, like the Christmas tree. Give us some good safety tips about the tree.
Yeah, so it used to be that's all you would get is like the real Christmas trees, the fresh cut, right? More and more we're seeing the artificial ones, but if you do have a real fresh cut Christmas tree, one of the problems we see with that is just they get dry, and so. And the LED lights that are on them don't generate a lot of heat, but if you don't have the LEDs, that generates some heat with them. And if you don't keep the water filled up, especially if you have pets. I mean, I know I have a dog that, for whatever reason, if there's any water anywhere around the house, likes to drink it, and even though it has like a fresh fountain, you drink out. But I mean, that happens, and they'll drink that water because I think it's probably a little sweet. And, if the tree dries out and then you get any kind of heat source next to it, then it's liable to catch fire. And I have been to fires at Christmas time. It's not good. I mean, any fire anytime is not good. But, this time of year, you're burning that tree, and what do you have underneath it is all your hard work, all the presents, that you got for your family. And we don't like to see that. So it's kind of dangerous, so just make sure you kind of keep if you do have a live tree, keep it away from a heat source, make sure you keep it watered. And then, that's probably not a good idea to keep it out till February, try to get rid of it pretty fast. Yeah, after Christmas, so that would be one of the bigger things is just at this time of year, specifically the Christmas tree.
And you need to pay attention to your devices that help you if there's a fire or carbon monoxide. So tell us a little bit about the smoke detectors and the CO2 detectors.
Yeah, so I don't think people realize, I know people don't realize this because I see it all the time, and we get called. We have a free program for Sierra Vista Fire that will have volunteers come out. Our Citizens Fire Academy volunteers will come out and check your smoke detectors once a year and change the batteries for you, especially if you're having a hard time getting up to heights. And what we see when we do that is people have like that one smoke detector that even though they change the battery, it keeps going off and annoying them. And they're like, why, what's going on with that? And so oftentimes I'll look at it, and if you look and you take the smoke detector off and you look at the back side of it, you'll see the date that it was manufactured. Many, many times when I go do this, it's like the original house smoke detectors. We're talking like 1995 or 96, and those things are only good for 7 to 10 years. And so even if you have a smoke detector, it may not work right, so even check your batteries every year and look at the date, and if it's greater than 7 to 10 years, then you got to replace them, and that will also prevent you from having that annoying beep that you just can't get rid of, because it doesn't come on in the day, right?
No, middle of the night,
it's
every
like
time.
3 o'clock, yes. And it scares everybody in the house, and wake up. And I mean, it's happened to me, but it's been from a faulty detector and stuff, because I'm pretty good about practicing when I preach on that. But yeah, it scares you, and then you just, invariably it's like even if you put a battery in that one, then you're chasing them because they're all connected, so it's just better just to be proactive on it.
And your carbon monoxide, you don't think about that, but with heaters, you have like
Yes.
heaters now.
Yes.
And then that is what contributes to some of those issues. And people don't know, just reading a story, a woman was so thankful for the fire department because she had a headache all day, thought it was just too much caffeine.
Right.
Her husband actually came home and there was just a serious issue that was carbon monoxide. And if they hadn't have discovered it with the help of the fire department, I think that they probably wouldn't have woke up the next morning.
Maybe
So-
not. Yeah. So if you have to have like a gas appliance. So if you have a gas heater, water heater, stove, things like that. Usually it's not a stove that's doing it, but it has to be like something combustible. So it's usually like a heater of some sort, like you're saying. And if those things aren't clean and they're not vented out right, and people tend to it's a convenient place to store stuff right next to those, out of sight, out of mind. That it prevents the proper airflow, so it can not only cause a fire, but it doesn't combust the right way, and so you can get carbon monoxide from those kind of appliances. And it's carbon monoxide is odorless. You can't smell it. You can't see it. It's clear. So the only way to know that you're having is know the symptoms, which a lot of people, like you're saying, don't really know the symptoms. But it's like it makes you sick. It gives you a headache. Makes you dizzy, and basically it displaces oxygen in your blood, so it takes a while to get rid of it. So you're just not getting enough oxygen, and if you don't have some kind of detector that's kind of between you and that appliance, and you won't know about it. So yes, they have all kinds of even dual smoke detector or carbon monoxide detector, or they have the ones that just plug into the wall, which are good. And they go bad too, so if you have those and you've had them for 10 years, it's time to change them out. But those things are invaluable because that's something you can't see or smell, so it's important to check those for sure.
Well, before we go again, first of all, thank you for what you do as a firefighter, all of you guys, what you do for our community, what you've done for the Christmas with the community's backing. We want to send out a big thank you to the fire department for everything you guys do all year round.
Well, we appreciate it. Our guys work hard. This is a year for us that's it's a record-breaking year for us. We expect to go over 10,000 calls this year for our fire department and EMS, which is a lot considering we have 4 stations in the city, Yeah. So that's never been done before, but we're going to hit that. So the guys are really busy, and gals, and they appreciate everybody's support, and we appreciate your guys' support as well. We couldn't do it without the community, so thank you as well.
All right, so tomorrow is bag and tag, and then Sunday delivery. Invite everybody out, tell them how to be involved, and then we'll say goodbye.
All right. Yeah, so tomorrow at 1 o'clock at 1295 East Fry, Station 1. That's where we're doing our bag and tag. And the very next morning at 8 a.m., same place for delivery. So we could use the help. Come on out and help us out and get some cookies and some coffee and hot chocolate.
That's Don Foster, Fire Marshal for the City of Sierra Vista. And I want to thank one more time Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative for sponsoring this show again. Another great year informing the community. And thank you guys for listening, because this is a way that the Sheriff's Office can get information out to you. So thanks for being here every week. And again, thank you to SSVEC. And Carol, how do they get a hold of us at the Sheriff's Office?
So reach out anytime. You can give us a call, 520-432-9500. Take a look at our social media sites at Cochise County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Mark J. Daniels, for our Facebook. That'll take you to our X and our Instagram, and also our webpage at cochise.az.gov/sheriff. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
You've been listening to First Watch, brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. Keep up to date. Follow the Cochise County Sheriff's Office on Facebook. And tune in next Friday, 7 a.m. for First Watch right here on KWCD.